Next question is, when is your birthday? My birthday is January 4th, and I always hated that my birthday was on January 4th because if I were born 4 days earlier, then I would be a grade more than I actually am. So when everybody would ask me my grade, I'd be like, oh, I'm in grade 7, and then all the grade 8s would be like, oh, you're so much younger than us. And I'd be like, no, I'm not, because if I was born 4 days earlier, I would be in grade 8 just like you, so get over yourself. Anyways, my name is Hallie, kind of like Halle Berry, except for I'm not black, or nearly as hot, or famous, or cool.
Everybody knows it. Nobody wants to admit it. Nobody wants to talk about it. The vast majority of human beings are too dumb to fuck. And of course, it's subjective. It's a subjective judgment. But nobody wants to look in the mirror and admit to themselves that the vast majority of other people subjectively judge them to be too dumb to fuck. And guess what, guys? It's true of the majority of us, the majority of the time, in the perception of the majority of all other human beings. So that's why nobody is fucking comfortable talking about this or thinking about this. It's deeply disturbing. Oh, we're way more comfortable talking about this line here. Yeah. Some people are too ugly to fuck. Oh, that we can admit to ourselves. And also, it's not that great a percentage of the human race. So this we can cope with. Getting rejected because of your looks. Oh, you feel judged. You are judged. Getting rejected because someone else is smarter than you and from their perspective, they think you're retarded. That's tough. But we're not running out of judgments here. What about all the people who are too immoral to fuck? Some of you are in the audience saying, what do you mean? You're willing to take whatever you can get. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I have a lot of stories.
It involved like a photographer and 4 Jewish guys.
What? Why you gotta make a big deal about them being Jewish, bro?
It involved like a photographer and 4 Jewish guys.
Oh,
why do you know that story?
The gangbang.
Yeah.
The gangbang story
Okay, so
time,
basically I worked with this photographer and we hit it off. By the end of the photo shoot, I was sucking his dick. He invited in his roommate, sucked his dick
They were
too.
cousins.
Have you ever rejected someone because they smoked cigarettes? Have you ever rejected someone because they smoke meth, because they smoke crack, because they smoke fentanyl? Of course, you have moral standards. They may be totally subjective. They may be totally arbitrary. They may be totally ridiculous. But let's say you're a fucking vegan. Well, are you only willing to fuck other vegans? Now what percentage of humanity can you get down with?
But just from my own personal experience, I have definitely been in what I would consider a toxic relationship. And I'm not even calling the person I dated toxic. It was just toxic for myself because for whatever reason, we're just not compatible.
With the sole exception of intelligence, you can have too much of a good thing. You can't be too smart. It's not possible. You can be too attractive for your own good. Certainly, a woman can be too attractive for her husband's own good, or a husband can be too attractive for his wife's own good. It's much more common. I have known miserable married couples where the wife complains the husband has too low a sex drive. The husband only wants to have sex like once a month, if that. Well, guess what? You can have too high a sex drive. You can have a man who wants to have sex 4 times a day minimum, often enough, 8 times a day, 12 times a day. You go to the doctor and say you've got a sore vagina. He's like inspecting it. He's like, oh, well, guess what the fucking problem is? If you don't have an open relationship and let your husband start banging other women, your ovaries are going to look like fucking scrambled eggs. You can have too much of a good thing. You can be too attractive. You can have too high a sex drive. Intelligence versus ignorance? No. You can never be too well read, too well informed, too wise. For that, there's no upper limit. So this brings us to the burning question of the hour. Perhaps the question of the year and the decade as well. Why do so many hot guys prefer ugly women? Yeah, I said it. I'm talking about men who have a choice and choose to go down the ugly road leading to Lake I Wanna Vomit. Mike the vegan, not to my taste, but objectively speaking, a gorgeous man. Not talented, not intelligent, not ethical. But he's famous. Look at this girl he's shacked up with. And I mean shack both literally and figuratively. They live together in a fucking tiny house. Hope it's got a backyard with a big fucking bucket full of sand. Stick your head in the fucking sand once in a while. Give yourself some goddamn relief. John Venus. Yeah, I said it, but you've been thinking it. You've been thinking it for all these years. I understand why this guy became ex-vegan. I understand why he took up hunting. He'd rather look at a fucking blood-soaked carcass in the middle of the woods than be trapped indoors with this chick who looks like she got rejected from the casting call to play the lead role in the movie adaptation of Lemmings for the Sega Genesis. Brian Turner and Sammy Grimm. Dude, what? Dude, what? Dude, what? What? What?
I'm standing there minding my own business, trying to take photos of Brian, and this lady comes up to me. This is a family beach. You should not be wearing that. And it took me by surprise because I was not expecting that. And Brian was like, what, a bathing suit? And I was like, yeah. And then she walked away.
Meanwhile, in case you have not picked up on the subtle insinuation that I've presented to you through visual juxtapositions with my amazing editing skills, the gorgeous creature you see on screen, who has impeccable vegan credentials, she ain't got no man. All I've ever seen from her on social media for 5 years, 8 years now, is her complaining that she can't get no man that lives up to her standards. I don't know her whole story. I don't know if she's had a few boyfriends come and go, but I don't know, they didn't, meet the standards to appear on her Instagram or her YouTube channel or whatever. And Nina and Randa are the fucking next level. They're the ultimate vegan incels. Despite their fame, despite their fortune, they can't get laid to save their lives. And if you look at the men they have been with, if you look at the boyfriends they have had, and the men they're going to have to settle for, get married to, and raise kids with, to say that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel would be an insult to any decent, self-respecting barrel and spatula combination. So why would any man who has the option to be with a beautiful woman, or to be with many beautiful women, to be with an uncertain succession of 5, 10, 12 beautiful women per year, why would any man who has options choose to commit to a woman who is less attractive or even downright goddamn ugly? Why? There is an answer. And I can say this because I am a man who has options himself. Always has, always will. It doesn't fucking matter if you think I'm ugly. Having options and being ugly, two totally different things, totally different subject for a totally different video, maybe on a different YouTube channel. But I digress. Here's the thing. If I choose to be with the most beautiful woman or the most beautiful women, plural, I could possibly get, other people, including my coworkers, including my colleagues, including my own family, other people will perceive me as a shallow, superficial man, which I fucking am, but I don't want them to see me that way. If I get with an ugly woman, no matter how fucking stupid she is, they will perceive me as a man of substance, as a man with deep, redeeming, moral and intellectual qualities, because I made that choice, I made that commitment. And even if I'm cheating on her, even if I'm cheating on her in the most low-down, despicable way, I have the respect and admiration of my friends and family in a way that I would not if I had married a stripper, if I had married a model, if I had married a cocktail waitress, or any woman who just kind of looks and acts and talks that way. You may think this is horse shit. The next time you go to the gym and you see a drop-dead gorgeous chick who works as a personal trainer, and let's just say she's so drop-dead gorgeous that she dropped out of high school, never really had to read a book in her life, never really had to lift a finger in her life. The other fucking employees at the gym, they don't even fucking care if she knows how to teach yoga or not. She's so good looking. She's been able to get by on her looks. You have a fucking 15-minute conversation with her about any topic. Then ask yourself how your mother would perceive you if that's the woman you marry and that's the woman you have kids with. That's why handsome men, gorgeous men, and men who have options for other fucking reasons, cultural, intellectual, career, who fucking knows, men like me. That's why men choose to be with ugly women. And it's fucked up. Because the truth is, all this shit is hereditary. All this shit is inherited by the next generation. You owe it not to yourself, but to your kids and grandkids to bang chicks that are not just gorgeous, but also brainy, brilliant, and highly ethical. It's gotta be everything, baby, not just the looks. No, it ain't over. It ain't over. In case you think that's a happy ending to the story, it's not. Guess what? It means nobody gets to be happy. It means the vast majority of men despise their wives. The vast majority of wives despise their husbands. The vast majority of parents despise the man or woman their son or daughter chose to marry. And a whole lot of parents despise their kids, and kids despise their fucking parents too. We all have standards that other people can't satisfy. And if you can't learn to overcome that, the species will go extinct.
Dun, 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 dun.